So, Stephanie, thanks for taking a minute to. I wanted to give our clients just an opportunity to get to know you a little bit. You're calling clients at the beginning of a case and dealing with really big things for them and getting to know them, but wanted people to be able to get a little bit of feel for who is Stephanie. So, if that's okay, getting on video for us for a minute, let's just start at the top. Let's start with where'd you grow up?
So I grew up kind of all over a little bit, but mostly in Utah. And then my most formative teenage years in Iowa. I graduated from high school in Iowa and then moved to St. George with my family after that. So I always say like my younger siblings are all from St. George, but I'm just not, because I went straight to school up at BYU that summer that my family moved to St. George. So my siblings and my family all got some school at least, or all of their school here in St. George, and I'm the oldest of five.
So what's that like to feel like you're from a different place than the rest of your own family?
It's, well, I definitely started college feeling like if people ask me, where are you from? I felt like I didn't have a hometown. And it was kind of weird because, of course, I came from somewhere. But I just never felt quite sure what to say. Because if I said St. George, they're like, where'd you go to high school? Do you know this person? Do you know this person? And no, I didn't know anybody. But that's also how I made some friends because they were from St. George. And so we connected that way. And then I had people to drive home with when it was my home here in St. George.
So why move around so much growing up?
So in my family, my dad just kind of changed his mind a lot about things that he was doing professionally. He's a really talented and smart guy, but he just didn't ever want to stick to one track of anything. And so that kind of affected things, but nowhere that we lived was terrible or anything. And it was kind of good experience to not just stay in one box or one bubble.
Yeah.
So, and I liked Iowa. I liked that I graduated there. And had fun in high school. So I think that everybody else in my family loved going to Dixie High School, which I feel kind of nostalgic for, even though I never went there just because of them. But yeah, I wouldn't change it.
Cool.
I liked it.
So I liked Iowa too, and I happen to be your little brother.
Yes.
So I've been through a lot of these experiences with you. But
so you went to 2 years of high school here.
Yeah. So I have always feel like I'm from St. George because I graduated high school here. So I get that.
And I feel like you have a couple friends that like all were new at the same time.
Totally. Yeah.
At your school.
So tell me about after high school then. So you're going to college then. Where was that?
So I went to BYU. It happened kind of throughout college that I would started and then stopped a couple of times because I had a really hard time getting school done. And so I didn't really always stay in one place. I did some school, some semesters at, I guess it was Dixie State University at the time. I think it was university, not college. Now Utah Tech University. And then back to BYU and then back to Dixie. So bumped around quite a bit. And I'm actually like 15 credits shy of my bachelor's degree right now.
Okay.
So almost made it.
And work kind of, got in the way as you get older and start needing to make money. Tell us about like what other jobs have you had before you became a personal injury paralegal?
So I've had a lot of different jobs. I mean, I'm 40. So I've had jobs like in the service industry. I've always really actually enjoyed and find it fun to do like waiting tables or working in those kind of scenarios. I also was a makeup artist for a long time, which I really liked just to have an outlet for creativity. And it's just really social and fun. And I like to do customer service and take care of people and make them smile, and making somebody feel beautiful was a great way to do that. And then one of my, I guess, favorite jobs or big jobs was I was an executive assistant for a CEO of a marketing and branding company up in Springville near Provo. And yeah, once I started that job, was thinking I'll finish school soon here one day. That job really just took all of my time, and I just forgot about it because I was making good money there and gaining a lot of work experience. So I handled HR and benefits for that company of over 100 employees. Payroll, I did all of that, and then managing kind of personal life things and scheduling and booking travel and stuff like that for the CEO and his family and some of the rest of the executive team.
Gotcha.
So it was just good experience for being a grown up.
Yeah. Bosses can be pretty needy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what brought you then to St. George?
That's kind of a funny one. I never thought I would move to St. George permanently. I would come like sometimes in the summer between semesters at school and stuff. But I just decided kind of on a whim and made the decision final within a day or two in 2015 that I was moving to St. George, and I didn't really know what I would do there or why or whatever. But my little sister, Mariah, she got her mission call a few months before that. And as time counted down to her leaving, I just really wanted to be there for her last month at home. I think when she first got her mission call, and she's the baby of our family, and I feel like kind of my baby, I was in denial that it was going to happen. And I just thought, she's not really going to go. That's so silly. Why would she go on a mission? And so as it got closer, she had about 30 days left at home, and I just moved. I just drove down and so that I could spend that time with her, and then just, got a job. And I did take some classes at Dixie and just went from there, and pretty much been here ever since. So,
cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been a personal injury paralegal then?
4.5 years. Okay. That is longer than it feels.
Yeah.
It feels like it's gone right by. So
that's getting to be enough time to fully get your feet wet.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I should be one of the best.
What's I would think so. Right. Yeah. So tell me, what's like the hardest part about being a personal injury paralegal?
So I'd say one of the hard parts is if you are trying to help somebody that does have major medical needs, big injuries going on, and they are going to need a lot of care, and you want to be able to encourage them to get all of the medical treatment that they need. But one of the downsides is if the person that hit them doesn't have room on their insurance policy to pay for that much care, it just can be really sad and disappointing. If somebody has just $25,000 available, that's the limit. Limit means limit, and that's the most that their insurance is going to pay out for who they hurt and who they're liable for. But if a person has multiple surgeries, over $100,000 in bills, but we can only get what we can get, it does just feel like kind of a letdown. You want to take care of somebody 100%. So that's hard.
So why don't you just get them more money than the insurance?
Well, so I guess like hand in hand with that, once that limit is tapped out for the person that hit them, we can also go to their own policy where hopefully they have UIM coverage, which is underinsured motorist coverage. And so it steps in and kind of fills that gap. Sometimes that is even still not enough, but sometimes it is. And that's a real bonus if that person is well insured themselves, then we just kind of take each step as it comes to be able to allow them the care that they need. Yeah.
So like a lot of people don't realize that there are people driving around out there that only have $25,000 in coverage, even if they hit you and kill you.
Right.
And we don't sue the person typically because they're judgment proof and have no money. Right. Mm-hmm. And so the only person that can insure us is ourselves, right? To have UIM coverage. Can you tell us about like, what's something that you like about being a paralegal? What are the good parts about being a personal injury paralegal?
I like a lot of things. I think it's part of kind of that service oriented type of person that I have found myself to be. So I enjoy like serving clients in a lot of past jobs that I've had, and also more focused service, like when I was an executive assistant, just for this one person or couple of people to anticipate their needs. I really like to be able to offer service or come in with a solution that I can tell a client about before they even think about that problem. Or they're like, yeah, what would I do? I'm going to miss work for these next couple days because the doctor told me I can't go to work yet. And I just figured I would tell my boss and that's it. But if we can help them recover some of that income, we have ways to help get them medical care that they need. Even if they don't have health insurance, I can answer some questions for them to sign up and get health insurance when it's that time, just to be able to offer them ideas and suggestions and support and anticipate things that they might have an issue with before they are even thinking of it.
Do you ever get difficult clients?
Yes. Yeah. So they're, I guess, kind of the most difficult ones are because everybody is going to be stressed. It's not their best moment when they have gotten in a car crash or been through something really traumatic and emotional and stressful like that. So people's attitudes could be, less than ideal. But I think the ones that are the most difficult are those with really unrealistic expectations that just, want to demand, I need $2.5 million because that's how much that old lady got that spilled hot coffee on herself or whatever. And that's just not how it works. That's not even what happened in that McDonald's case. So I think that's part of communication and setting expectations with your clients, explaining everything as you go, just over communicating as much as you can throughout the process can help to prevent that.
So if that's not how it works, how does it work? How do you figure out or calculate like what would be a fair and reasonable settlement amount under Utah law for something that happened to somebody?
Yeah, it can be hard right at the first to make a guess like that and tell somebody, but based on the insurance policy limits for all the policies that we know are available, and then knowing how hurt the person is, because we can't really know what their injury or their pain is worth until it's been paid for, until those expenses have already, they've been paid so we can prove them. Then that is... So kind of anticipating if you'll need this surgery, if you'll need massage therapy for another while here or whatever, then that can kind of give us a guide or an estimate of what we're going to ask for from the insurance company and what we could tell the client that they're going to expect. So it's based on several things.
Okay. So what about can you tell us an example of just a normal case then, or I guess not a normal case, but a case that you can think of, a client that you remember helping? Give us an example of a case of what happened and what you were able to do for that person as far as problem solving during the short term, and then an idea of maybe what the settlement was. Yeah.
Trying to think of just a normal. So there's a case that I'm thinking of that started out really normal, and it just kind of came to a difficult point, but then we were able to solve it. So it was a kid that was a senior in high school at the time and got in a crash driving himself to his football game at his high school on a Friday afternoon. And the details, the facts of the crash and the situation seemed very clear cut to me, and to us when we took the case, because there was body cam footage of a driver that hit him admitting that she had just had alcohol to drink just before driving. And so something like that is big liability for an insurance company. And they, sometimes will just come in and make a really good offer right up front, but they did not. And so this kid, he's not a kid anymore. He continued to do his treatment, did chiropractic as needed, did pain management, some other options like that. And he's in college now. But we were able to eventually, and not just support him through getting that medical care and, make recommendations and referrals for him as he was still in pain, but also get him a nice lump of money that comes in really handy at this time of his life. It's always fun to get, I don't know, a good chunk of money for a kid that's like right on the precipice of the rest of their life. And, something has happened that could really derail them and mess up their life. But instead, hopefully, we're giving them a little boost up.
So the insurance company that was on the car that was at fault for the crash initially denied liability and wasn't going to pay anything?
So no, they accepted liability, but they were offering very little, even though we did show that, he was hurt and that he required how many thousands of dollars of medical bills to restore himself back to his pre-accident status. And yeah, they just weren't offering anything reasonable at all. But we do have really awesome litigation attorneys that we work with and at McMullin. And they were able to talk some sense into the insurance company, I guess, until we got what he really needed.
Okay. What about, have you ever had a favorite client or a client that you really bonded with or connected with?
Yes, I do have a favorite client right now. His name is written on like the top of my notebook at work with hearts all around it because I do love him. I mean, he's just my favorite, but also he is who needs me and needs attention right now kind of the most. He's one of, I guess, a high priority case because he was very, very injured and has a lot of things to handle. So, but I say he's my favorite because he's been really inspiring. And I've told him that. I've expressed that when I talked to him on the phone. This kid was riding his motorcycle and had a helmet on, had his jacket, like heavy motorcycle jacket that protects you on, and was driving along at the speed limit, also did everything that he could to avoid this crash on the freeway, on the highway out towards Colorado City. And a tow truck was on the shoulder, the side of the road, and just suddenly pulled out to make a complete U-turn across like 5 lanes of traffic. And as it's pulling out, he's veering over more and more to the left to try to avoid, and also try to stop and couldn't in time. So as he just smacked into the side of this tow truck and flew, and his bike flew, and he, destroyed like his whole right arm. He's right-handed. He worked in construction, and needs his strength in his body and his hands, and so that happening to him had the potential to really ruin his life. He dragged himself into our office right after all this reconstructive surgery that put all kinds of hardware in his right arm, basically built him a bionic arm, and came into the office because he wanted to, shake hands with us at the law firm and meet us as he hired us, and not just do everything by phone. So, he was smiling. He just was glad to be alive, he was just thankful for every person that had helped him. The witness that saw it happen, the law enforcement and the paramedics that came and helped him, and us for anything that we could do to help him as well. He just is the most grateful, positive person ever, and he couldn't do his old job anymore, so he got a job at a gas station, and he was a cashier at a gas station for a while and continued to rehab his arm and get better. Then he learned how to weld. He learned a new skill, and he said it's kind of difficult, but how he could stabilize his arm and hand to do that specific task. He is now doing that and making good money. He just hasn't let it stop him in his life at all. He just has continued to progress. I think he was 19 or 20 when it happened, and now a little older than that. But that case is ongoing, and he's had multiple surgeries over the past year and a half or so. But we are hopeful for a very good outcome for him.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay. What about what attorney do you work with at the firm?
I work with Jordan mostly.
What's he like?
He is awesome. He is like one of the nicest, just nice, just so kind, and cheerful, but one of the nicest people you could ever meet. He really cares about people. And
I thought lawyers were mean, and not cheerful.
They are, but he's not. No. A lot of them are not mean, but he's definitely one of those that came into his profession because he is concerned about helping people, and wants to, give back and create something for the world, not take anything away. He wants to help people, and help to have the best outcomes for all parties that we can. He's just has a lot of empathy and just always positive. He's really fun and easy to work with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you would want clients that were trying to get just a feel for who you are to know?
I don't know.
Cool. Okay. Well, then no.
Okay. I don't think so.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks for taking the time to get on camera today and let us get to know you a little bit.
Thank you.